What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Nash here. Welcome back to the channel. I know this week has been hella crazy, and last week was just a fucking nightmare for me. So I humbly apologize. Things were not the way I wanted them. I wanted it to go, but this week might have been a little bit better. But I'm actually excited for the Royal Rumble this Saturday. But we have another episode of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, and for this episode, which will be posted tomorrow at the time of recording this video, which is Thursday, and then of course tomorrow being Friday, which will be the day you guys will see the video, this week's episode is actually based on the ban list, because earlier today we got the ban list at the time of recording this video, which if you guys have not checked out the ban list reveal that I did, definitely check it out. It was very, very interesting to say the very least. But with this ban list, the question now remains: what new decks could we see in the February 2022 format? So this list will be will be effective starting on February 7th. So right around next week of sort. The next one won't be for another few months. So I'm assuming like sometime between May and June. Like sometime right around the end of spring, beginning of summer, right around that time. And the question is, what decks could we see in this upcoming ban list format? So let's look at the ban list just to review. So the cards that are banned, you have Arch Nemesis Protoss, you have Eva. As I'm scrolling down really quickly, you have some more Bird of Sovereignty, and then you also got Imperial Order banned. For the cards that are limited, meaning you can only use one, we have Astrograph Sorcerer to 1, Destroyer the Lost Dragon's Friction to 1, Fairy Tale Snow to 1, Lunar Tiger to 1, Lureless Recital Starling to 1, Monster Gate to 1, Pot of Desires to 1, and then of course the cards that are semi-limited, meaning you can only use 2, the cards that are new, if you will. You've got A Hero Lives to 2, Fusion Destiny to 2, Nadir Servant to 2, Salamangreat Circle to 2, and Scapegoat to 2. And the cards that are at 3, you've got Danger Nessie, Perform Pal Skullcrobat Joker, Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon, Emergency Teleport Regeki, and Skill Drain. If you look at this list, it's very questionable, because for one, Pot of Desires is arguably one of the most questionable cards to be put on the limited list, because if you think about it, all you do is just banish 10 cards from the top of your deck face down, and you draw 2. And I do apologize. I do apologize if it's dark here. I've got really shitty lighting. Anyway, the card, and it's basically minus 10. It's actually a minus 11 plus 2. That's the trade-off. You know, it's the fact that you could end up giving up your best cards to draw 2 bricks. That's kind of the trade-off. So I kind of understand the Pot of Desires one. Monster Gate, on the other hand, I totally get it. It's because of the whole Fairy Tale Snow. It's because of the fact that Snow and Destrudo are back at 1. The reason, so if you guys don't know, Monster Gate is basically a Foolish Burial on steroids. So you tribute a monster, and you excavate cards from the top of your deck until you can get a monster that can be normal summoned or set. The rest of the cards go straight to your graveyard. This would give you fodder for none other than Fairy Tale Snow. It can also give you fodder for cards like Destrudo, for Lunar Light Tiger as well. If the Lunar Light strategy was running Monster Gate, so I kind of get it. But if you look at the cards that are banned, Imperial Order became, even with the errata, it became one of the most problematic cards in the format. Being just forcing your opponent to not, just forcing you and your opponent to not play spells. It's as if you've took out literally practically more than 30% of the whole deck itself, you know? And to be fair, the new errata is pay 700 life points, otherwise destroy the card. And it's what's known as a mandatory effect. And what that means is that you have to do it, otherwise the card gets destroyed. So I kind of understand, and I kind of understand Imperial Order getting banned. Eva getting banned. Obviously, it's because of the fact that Drytron was using Eva as one of the big, as one of their main combo starters. So if you don't know about Eva, I'm actually gonna look up the card if I can find something. So let's take a look. I'm actually gonna go on Yu-Gi-Oh Wiki on my laptop instead of Neuron, because Neuron won't let me download the new update. So I am gonna look up Eva on Wiki, on the Yu-Gi-Oh Wiki website. So big shout outs to them. No copyrights, of course. That's if I can, of course, because this thing is... Come on. Oh, I guess there it goes. Okay, never mind. No, you don't. Screw you, Pluto. Shoutouts to the TV app Pluto, by the way, because that app just showed up. The ad showed up. So, Eva, here we are. Let's see. So Eva's effect reads if this card is sent to the grave, you can banish up to 2 other light fairy monsters from your field and or graveyard. Add the same number of level 2 or lower light fairies from your deck with different names to your hand. You can only use the effect once per turn, except Eva, of course. So it was basically a combo starter to get out your main combo pieces to summon out cards like Herald of Ultimateness and the big Drytron monsters, which you guys know what's up. It's just absolutely insane. So Eva, I can understand it getting banned now. Arch Nemesis Protoss, basically just forcing your opponent to not play any form of Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just absolutely insane. And the fact that Swordsoul was abusing this card, it makes sense. You know? And as far as the cards that are semi-limited, honestly, none of these matter, because Fusion Destiny does nothing when it's at 2. It just cuts down the fact that it just cuts down your chances of seeing the card in your opening hand by like 10-12%. And not only that, even if you don't see it in your opening hand could potentially have a combo that can get out Verde Anaconda, which would then give you Fusion Destiny either way. So it wouldn't matter. Now Nadir's Servant, I would have put this to 2, not to 2, to 1, because Nadir's Servant is just absolutely stupid. And I'll read off its effect. I'll actually search. I'm actually gonna search. Nadir's Servant. So Nadir Servant was actually released in Rise of the Duelist, actually not too long ago, about couple years ago. So it's kind of hard to believe that it's still relatively, that it's now considered an old set. It's so hard to believe. So the effect reads: send one monster from your extra deck to the grave, then add one Dogmatic, a monster, or Fallen the Valbaz from your deck or graveyard to your hand that has attack less or equal to the sent monster in the grave. Also, for the rest of the turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck. You can only activate one Nadir Servant per turn. So it was just basically a searcher. It was basically Rhoda for the Fallen the Valbaz Dogmatic strategy, and the fact that it locks you out of the extra deck, you really could care less. As long as you're able to get your board before you activate Nadir Servant, that's pretty crazy. That's pretty crazy. But I would have put this to 1/1 instead. But now the question remains: what decks could we see come back to the meta? Obviously, we know that Skull Bat Joker is now at 3. We know that Astrograph Sorcerer is back at 1. So the big question remains is, could we see Pendulum Magician come back? And the answer is yes. We could potentially see Pendulum Magician come back because of the fact that we're now drawing closer and closer to the next core set after Battle of Chaos, which will be Dimension Force. Dimension Force will be based on mostly the Pendulum strategy, and with Astrograph Sorcerer to 1, I'm pretty sure that Konami will find that I'm pretty sure that I think there's a card in the set that can help enable can help enable the plays of Astrograph Sorcerer. So Pendulum Magician is going to be very scary if it comes back to the format. Another deck that can also potentially come back, and it's kind of a long shot. But Dragon Links. Dragon Links could potentially come back, but it depends on how it gets built. Because as of now, Black Dragon, Collapsed Serpent, and White Dragon, Wyvern Buster are still limited. So with those cards limited, and with the fact that most is that Guard Dragon LP and Guard Dragon Agripane are still banned. I'm pretty sure even with those two banned, I'm pretty sure that Dragon Links could come back to the format. So it's very possible, but not likely. Now, with some more being banned, this means that Lurlisk Tri Brigade will still be meta, but they won't be as power hungry as the deck was when Sovereignty was legal, as were the rest of the other cards. I know what people are thinking, because that Master Duel is around. People thought that Maxi was gonna come back. Nope, it's still there. Just as a disclaimer, it is not coming back. I really don't think Maxi is coming back anytime soon. Even if it does, it wouldn't matter, honestly, because there are so many decks that don't. There are a bunch of decks that don't even need Maxi, to be honest. But another deck as well, and it just dawned on me. Another deck that can also come back, and this is kind of a strange one. Would probably have to be Heroes. Heroes could be another potential threat, because with A Hero Lives, it was like, I guess you could say that I guess you could say that the card was basically Last Will, so to speak, but Yeah, guys, what? Oh. Because A Hero Lives was basically Last Will, but the crazy thing is that this card is just absolutely nuts. This card is crazy. So if you guys have never seen this card before, this was released years ago. I think as like a Jump promo or something like that, or maybe a YCS promo or something. I don't remember how long ago this set was been out for, but if I remember correctly, okay. I thought so. This was released in Generation Force as a Ultra, as an Ultimate Rare, and then it was released as, then its first reprint was the Hero Strike Structure, and then Duelist Saga, and then of course Magical Hero. Now I believe it'll be released, most likely a common in Legendary Duelist Season 3, which we'll be getting this coming June. So stay tuned for that. That's going to be a very interesting opening, but A Hero Lives reads, if you control no face-up monsters, pay half your life points, special summon a level 4 or lower elemental hero monster from your deck. This was basically a way to get out potentially either Shadow Mist or even also Stratos, which would be able, which if you chose Shadow Mist, you can easily get out Mass Change, and then if you had Stratos in the hand, you normal some of the Stratos, trigger the effect, go just combo off, and then make your board to where your opponent won't be able to play any form of Yu-Gi-Oh. So it's possible heroes could come back as a tier, possibly a tier 2, but I highly doubt it. But another thing that dawned on me is the fact that Regeki is at 3. Nobody runs Dark Hole. People just prefer to run Regeki, so Regeki is going to be very interesting to say the very least. Now, Emergency Teleport coming back to 3. This is all because of the fact that the new Punk archetype is out in the TCG in the Grand Creators, which is kind of a weird set. It's a weird set, still pretty decent in my opinion. But with E-Telly to 3, I'm not surprised. But if you guys are wondering why E-Telly was banned and then came up at 1, it was because of Teledad. Teledad, one of the most broken decks in the format back in the day. That was like one of the big reasons. But all in all, I think those could be the top decks that might come might come back. But as of now, Sword Soul, I'm pretty sure Sword Souls are still going to be pretty decent. Tri-Brigade Lureless are still going to be pretty cool, are still going to be pretty decent. But all in all, those are the top decks I think could potentially become meta-defying as we draw closer and closer to the February 2022 format. But that brings me to the question of the day. What decks do you guys think will be the new meta as we enter the February 2022 format? Let me know in the comments below, and that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure you guys smash the thumbs up button. If you guys are new to the channel and you guys want to see more episodes of Yu-Gi-Oh's Biggest Issue, which typically get posted on Friday, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you guys do not miss out on any new content that comes your way. And be sure to follow me on Twitter and on Instagram. All the links will be down in the description below. And if you guys have any fan mail that you want to send me and want me to open up on the channel, my address will also be in the description as well. You can send the fan mail through there. And on that, this is your boy Nash, signing out.